Yeah, hello friends. In last video, what we did in last video, we created the two REST API using this Maven project. You can see that in last video we created the add details, okay, and get all details. So three remaining APIs are remaining. So in this video, we are going to create these three REST API. Okay. So we already wrote this five service. So we are going to implement this remaining three API. Okay. Now let's start. So we are going in implementation, service implementation. Okay. In service implementation, we are going to implement this remaining three API. Okay. Now let's start. What is the name of this third method? This method name is getStudentDetailsById. That means we have records of students. So with the help of ID, that means ID is a roll number. That with the help of that ID, we are going to get that details of students. So how we are going to implement? Let's see. So for that, I have to create a student one object. You can give a name, std, anything. Put null. Suppose we are going to get the record of student. So firstly, it will be the null. Then we will store the details of student in std. Then we will get the details. Okay. Okay. If repo, that means repository, find by id, find by id. Okay, id is, what is id? Id, we already passed the id in parameter. Okay, is empty, is empty. That means what, which id? Suppose student roll number 5, we are searching. I want the which roll number is 5. Suppose that id is not present in the database. Okay, so what it will do, it will throw this exception. We already wrote this exception, so no need to write it again. Copy and paste. Okay, suppose which id I am searching in database, that id is not present, so I will pass this exception, student not found exception. Okay, click here, add here. Okay, control. If that id exists, so what I will do, I will take that id. Else std is equal to repo dot. So for that I want to write, I have to write one method. So even I can use the predefined method also, but it will be not that much good practice. For the good practice, we have to write one query. Using that query, we will get the details from the student table. So for that, I have to write query in the repository class, student repository. Here we have to write a query. So how we are going to write query? Let's see. Public student and get details by id. Okay, get student details by id. This is a your own method you can write, and we have to use @param component and value value it will be id, and this is the integer type. Okay, so we are going to pass this method. So I have to control space this one. Then I have to write here query. I have to write here query. Okay, this one. Okay, select. I'm going to write the HQL query. Okay, you can write SQL also. So you have to do the native query. So we will do also that things in another video. But here I'm going to write HQL query. Select as from student as where as dot roll number, because that id is a roll number in the database, is equal to this id. This id we are passing. Okay, so it will match with this id, uh, and that id is a roll number. Okay, select as from student as where as roll number is equal to this id. Okay, fine, good. Control s. So go ahead here and right click here, control space, wait, we wrote now get it's not coming. I have to save first here. Okay. Get details by id. Get details by id. After getting the details from the database, then I will return the std. Okay, yeah. Now we implement the how to get the details of student using the id. Okay, we will write a controller for that also, but the first let implement all details, so it will be easy, so we can say that. So now we are going to implement the edit student details. Okay, edit student details. So for that, what we have to do, we have to write a student std student, and student is wrong, student repo dot get details by id. Okay, and std dot get roll number. Okay, firstly it will check, okay, which roll number, which student details you are going to edit that exist or not. Okay, so it will check by this. Okay, std dot get roll number, it will be the id, and this id will be, we are passing in this method. This method getting the details of from the database, and it will store in student. Okay, now we will check this student is present or not. Student not equal to null. Not equal to null means this id is present. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to edit. So how we are going to edit? Student dot set, we are going to set the name. How we are going to set? std get students name. Okay, we are going to change the student name, and I want to change the student set class std get class. Okay, and okay, it's an error. Set class student, what I did. Everything is fine. Yes. Student dot set set father name std get father name. Okay, it's another, let's set once, set class std dot get class. Now check student set mother name std get mother name, and student set what student is wrong, student set school name done, no, school name std get school name. Okay, student which, suppose I want to edit the only two details, so you can now take only two also. If you want to change the old details, so you can take the old value. So I am changing the old details, so I am taking the old details. Set grade std Okay, after changing the details, okay, you have to save in the database also, that I change these details and just save this. Okay, okay, after changing this, suppose if student not equal to null, that means condition is false, so that means you don't have a details of a student, so you can pass this exception. Control C and control D. Here you can pass return the std. Okay, you can return the student, not std. Student. Okay, click here, add the exceptions. Click here, add this, then okay. This one is also done. Remove. Okay, I have to return here, not there. Return re, re, return student. Okay, why it's showing error? Let's see why it's showing error. We store that details. Okay, we should store here student now because we change inside the student. So we change it. Control S. Again it's saying remove. Why remove? Student not equal to null. Students add this. Before throw else. Okay, I didn't write else. Big mistake. Okay, control S. Good. Now edit method is also done. Now I'm going to delete the using the id. Suppose I add the file I want to delete the student details using his id, so I can write query student std is equal to repo taking the details from the repository get details by id, and we already passed the id, and after that we are going to check if std not equal to null. That means id is present, so what we will do, we are going to delete repo delete delete by id delete delete by id. Id is asset. Okay, then return delete. Deleted this message we will get. Okay, fine, good. After getting this, then suppose id is not present. See, which id you are going to delete, that id is not present, so you can pass this exception. Else, which exception? This exception. Click here and close, and click here and click here. Then this service and service implementation is done. Now we are going to create the controller for this implementation. Okay, let's come to the controller class. Here we already wrote the two controller. Now we have to add the another three controller. So how we are going to write? Let's see. No need to waste time to write it again. Just copy and paste. So little bit changes we have to do. We firstly we are going to write for the get details by id. So get details. This is the URL. You can change it. Get student details by id. That means we are passing the id, so we have to write the curly bracket. In curly bracket we are passing the id, so we have to write a @path variable. Path variable is used to take the input from the user. It will pass the value in database, so it will check using this id. path variable, and this is the int type id. Okay, and I want to call that method, not this method. So what was the name of that method? At get by id, get details by id, this one. Okay, done. Now at get details of student by id is done. Control C. Now I want edit method. So for edit I have to use the put mapping. What mapping I have to use? Put p. Okay, put method I want to use. So put. So for that I have to pass the path variable int, and not int, I have to pass the details of students. Okay, for that we are passing the request body, not id. No need to pass this id. Okay, for that request body and the request body, that means it will take the all value of students in a JSON form. Student, I have to call that implementation name edit, yeah, this one. Okay, add student details. After that I have to call the delete. For that I have to call the delete mapping. Okay, delete, add the delete, delete, and we are deleting the student details using the id, so that is fine. We have to pass the id using curly bracket, delete. This is the method name, and path variable using this id, fine, and we have to just change the method name here, delete. This one I want. Okay, now everything is done. Controller is done, service implementation is done, service is done, and repository, this query is also done. Now run. For that click here. Now let's check it's running or not. Okay, you can see in database we already store the three details of students, Raju, Rahul, string. We can check and we can change also, and let's see it's running or not. First, in last video we created a 2 REST API, or in this video we created a 3 REST API. Okay, fine, good. Okay, for that we have to go here. I have to write a localhost, and port number is 8095, not 92. Localhost 8095 swagger dot dash UI dot USD. Fine, yeah, you can see 5 different kinds of REST API you can see, and you can use it also. So firstly we are going to check this student details by ID. This one is present or not. I want to check roll number 2. Roll number 2 is present. Okay, good. Roll number 1. Okay, yeah, present. Good. So now I want to check the ID. No, put first. I will check the put. I want to change the details of student roll number 3. See, I want to give a name, school name, uh, Delhi Public School, and class 12, and father name. Uh, Father name, give anything. Mandeep. Amandeep. Okay, right. And mother name give Pushpa. Grade B plus. Student name, give anything. Avi. Stand. Okay. Click execute. Yeah, this one is edited. Let's check in database it edited or not. Check database. This third roll number it changed or not. Let's check. Yeah, 12 Amandeep B plus Pushpa Vishani BPS. Good. Now I want to check the delete API. Delete API is working or not. Okay. Fine, click here and think. This is the roll number as ID we are taking deleted. Let's check in database, run it again, 3 gone. Very good. Now you can see that we create the first project of the Spring Boot, and we create the first simple fast 5 REST APIs. Okay, so in next video what we are going to do, we are going to create the DTO class, and we have to map that with DTO class. DTO class is that mm, and we will create the different API for the DTO class. DTO class means you can say that suppose you have the details of student, mother name, father name, school, this thing, that thing, different kinds of field you have available, but you want to see only the student name and his father name. Okay, suppose you want to see these two fields. For that you have to use the DTO only. You don't want to see the details of all, so we can use the DTO and we will do the mapping. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe this YouTube channel.